Hello, everyone. My name is Joanna Burkey, and I'm HP's Chief Information Security Officer, responsible for HP's global cybersecurity strategy. I truly believe now is an ideal time for us and you to lead this next frontier of cybersecurity. First, let's take a look at the latest threat landscape. According to figures from the World Economic Forum, in one 3-month period last year, there was a 238% increase in the global cyber attack volume. We've all been taken aback by the high-profile exploits over the last year, from SolarWinds to Colonial Pipelines to Kaseya. And one area that's growing very rapidly and needs attention from all of us is the estimated 430% rise in software supply chain attacks over the last 12 months. There seems to be a new breach reported in the news every week, and the cybercriminals continue to get more sophisticated, more determined, and more ruthless. At HP, we issue a regular Threat Insights report, providing a unique glimpse into the behavior of malware and malicious activity in the wild. The most recent report showed how cybercrime is becoming ever more sophisticated. But end users are still vulnerable to the same old tricks. They are lured into opening malicious attachments, clicking on dodgy downloads, and opening compromised web links. This is a real concern for cybersecurity teams like my own. Fending off such attacks has become increasingly difficult. Distributed workers are not always protected by the same tools that we used to rely on in the office, such as corporate firewalls. Many now regularly access critical data via insecure connections. Without visibility to devices and how they are being used and by whom, IT security teams are working with clouded vision. The attackers have been quick to identify and take advantage of these gaps, as we can see from the rise in phishing attacks and web browser infections. According to HP's Blurred Lines and Blind Spots report, 91% of IT decision makers now believe endpoint security has become as important as network security, and they would be right in that belief. For example, the report showed that globally in 2020, endpoints connected to the internet experienced 1.5 attacks per minute. In addition to these evolutions in the threat landscape, I'd like next to talk to you a bit about how changing user behavior is also causing an increase in cyber risk. Earlier on this year, HP commissioned a comprehensive global study of office workers and IT decision makers to assess organizational cyber risk in this era of remote work. HP's Blurred Lines and Blind Spots report showed how changing work styles and behaviors are creating new vulnerabilities for companies, for individuals, and their data. To delve a bit more into the findings, almost 1/3 of remote workers surveyed had let someone else use their work device. And according to the survey, 70% of workers admit to using their work devices for personal tasks. At the same time, the report showed workers are increasingly using personal devices for work. In fact, 69% of all office workers surveyed had used their personal laptop or personal printer for work activities more since the start of the pandemic to complete their work tasks. As these lines between work and home have blurred, security risks in turn have soared, and everyday actions, such as opening an attachment, can have increasingly serious consequences. A second HP report, Rebellions and Rejections, out earlier this month, has also highlighted a new tension that has arisen between IT teams and employees working from home. Key findings from this second HP Wolf security report include that 76% of IT teams admit security took a backseat to business continuity during the pandemic. 91% have felt pressure to compromise security for business continuity. As a result, 83% of the IT teams believe this increase in home working has created a ticking time bomb for a corporate network breach. I like to paint the following picture to better illustrate the situation that we are all in. The cybersecurity tools and strategy that teams like my own provide is a bit like providing physical safety. If you have a staircase in the office, then you need to install a banister and perhaps have it carpeted so people don't slip and fall. But at the same time, you're also trusting that people don't dash down the stairs 3 at a time and injure themselves. Cybersecurity teams provide these guardrails, but they still need people to tread carefully. As we navigate this new era of hybrid working, I'm thinking more about how I can ensure everyone is collectively working together to keep the enterprise safe from harm. As security teams adapt to the hybrid workplace, they are seeking out new levels of endpoint protection outside the corporate network that can offer advanced remote management and that are as transparent as possible to avoid end-user circumvention. In turn, employees are craving user-friendly security tools and eased restrictions, while under-pressure IT teams need to find a way to reduce the burden of security and improve visibility into user behavior and threats. Technology plays a key role in delivering both of these. Thank you all for listening, and please stay safe.